Today, we're going to explore something that feels increasingly rare in our world: stillness. Not the stillness of an empty room, but the deeper stillness that lives within you, waiting beneath the surface of your daily life. You know that feeling, don't you? When your mind finally quiets, when the constant chatter fades and you find yourself here, truly here. The ancient wisdom keepers knew this state well. They didn't call it a luxury or an escape. They called it coming home, the universal search for stillness. Across cultures, across centuries, human beings have recognized that within the motion of life lies something motionless. The Taoists spoke of it as Wu Wei, effortless action that flows from inner calm. The Buddhist traditions call it shamatha, peaceful abiding. The Stoics understood it as ataraxia, unshakable tranquility. But perhaps my favorite description comes from the Lakota tradition, where they speak of sitting in the sacred silence, that place where you stop trying to fill every moment with noise and instead allow space for what is already there. These aren't just beautiful concepts from long ago. They're invitations, maps drawn by those who walked this path before us, showing us that stillness isn't something we have to create, it's something we have to uncover. Why we've lost our way. Let's be honest about where you are right now. You probably reached for your phone at least 3 times today before you even got out of bed. You've likely felt that familiar tug of urgency, emails to answer, tasks to complete, notifications demanding your attention. This isn't your fault. You're living in a world that profits from your restlessness, that treats stillness as suspicious, as laziness, as lost productivity. But the ancient teachers knew better. They understood that stillness isn't empty time, it's full time, time filled with presence instead of pretense, with being instead of becoming. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, writing in his private journal nearly 2,000 years ago, captured this beautifully. Confine yourself to the present, not as a limitation, but as a liberation. The present moment is the only place where stillness lives. The Taoist approach, Wu Wei in daily life. The Tao Te Ching offers us a profound image. The sage stays behind, thus he is ahead. He is detached, thus at one with all. Through selfless action, he attains fulfillment. This isn't about being passive or disconnected. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're fully engaged, but not frantically grasping, like water flowing around a stone, present, responsive, but never fighting what is. The Tao Te Ching offers us a profound image. The sage stays behind, thus he is ahead. He is detached, thus at one with all. Through selfless action, he attains fulfillment. This isn't about being passive or disconnected. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're fully engaged, but not frantically grasping, like water flowing around a stone, present, responsive, but never fighting what is. Imagine approaching your next difficult conversation this way. Instead of rehearsing what you'll say, planning your defense, or trying to control the outcome, what if you simply showed up, fully present, listening not just to their words, but to the space between words? This is Wu Wei in action, the stillness that moves, the action that doesn't force. The Buddhist understanding. Stillness as natural state. In the Buddhist tradition, there's a beautiful teaching about original mind, the idea that beneath all your thoughts, emotions, and experiences lies something inherently peaceful. You don't have to manufacture this peace, you just have to stop covering it up. Think of it like a mountain lake. When the wind is blowing, the surface is choppy, distorted, but deep beneath, the water is perfectly still. The wind didn't destroy the stillness, it just temporarily obscured it. Your busy mind, your anxious thoughts, your endless to-do lists, they're just surface winds. Beneath them, your essential nature remains undisturbed. This is why meditation isn't about emptying your mind. It's about recognizing that beneath the activity, stillness was always there. The Stoics had a different approach, but it leads to the same place. They spoke of the inner citadel, that unassailable fortress within you that no external circumstance can touch. Epictetus, who understood suffering intimately, taught that you always have one choice that remains yours: how you meet this moment. In traffic, in conflict, in disappointment, you can choose to meet it from stillness rather than reactivity. This doesn't mean becoming stone-hearted or indifferent. It means becoming like the mountain, affected by weather but not moved by it, present to what is without being swept away by what was or what might be. Indigenous wisdom, the sacred pause. Native American traditions offer us perhaps the most practical approach to stillness through what many tribes call the sacred pause. Before speaking in council, before making important decisions, before entering sacred space, there is always pause. Not hesitation, not delay, but intentional space where wisdom can emerge. You can practice this today, right now. Before you respond to that text message, pause. Before you rush to the next task, pause. Before you react to frustration, pause. In that pause, stillness isn't something you're trying to achieve. It's something that naturally arises when you stop feeding the momentum of constant motion. Modern applications. Stillness in the storm. Now let's bring this ancient wisdom into your actual life. Because understanding stillness philosophically is one thing. Living it while juggling work deadlines, family responsibilities, and the endless stream of modern demands, that's where the practice begins. Start small. Not with hour-long meditation retreats, but with micro moments of stillness woven into your existing rhythm. When you're waiting in line at the grocery store, instead of immediately reaching for your phone, try just standing, feeling your feet on the ground, noticing your breath without trying to change it. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of fighting the situation or letting frustration build, try settling into the pause. This is time you've been given, not stolen time, but gifted time to simply be present to yourself. When someone says something that typically triggers you, before responding, take one conscious breath. In that breath, stillness has space to inform your response, instead of reactivity driving your words. These aren't huge changes, they're subtle shifts that create space for your natural stillness to emerge. The practice of arriving. Here's something beautiful from the Zen tradition. The practice of arriving. Not getting somewhere, but recognizing that you're already here. Most of your mental energy goes to being somewhere else, planning the next thing, reviewing the last thing, imagining different scenarios. But life, real life, only happens here. Stillness only exists here. Try this right now. Instead of listening to these words while part of your mind plans what you'll do when this video ends, try arriving fully in this moment. Feel the surface you're sitting or lying on. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Hear not just my voice, but the quality of silence around it. This is arriving. This is stillness, not as a destination you reach through effort, but as a recognition of where you already are. The paradox of seeking stillness. Here's what the wisdom traditions understood that our modern approaches often miss. The more you chase stillness, the more elusive it becomes. It's like trying to catch your shadow. The very act of pursuing it moves it further away. The Taoist master Lao Tzu points us toward a different way. In pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In pursuit of wisdom, every day something is dropped. What if finding stillness isn't about adding something new to your life, another practice, another technique, another spiritual discipline? What if it's about dropping what's unnecessary, not feeding the thoughts that agitate, not engaging with every emotion that arises, not filling every quiet moment with stimulation? Stillness reveals itself when you stop covering it up, like the sun that's always shining, even behind clouds. Your work isn't to create the sun, your work is to stop adding clouds. A daily practice, the 3-breath reset. Let me offer you something practical you can begin today. I call it the 3-breath reset, and it draws from all the traditions we've explored. First breath, arrival. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, use this breath to fully land in this moment. Not analyzing it, not trying to change it, just acknowledging, I am here now. Second breath, acceptance. This breath is for meeting what is without immediate judgment or the need to fix or change. The Buddhist teaching of radical acceptance, not passive resignation, but active embrace of this moment's reality. Third breath, stillness. This breath is pure being. No agenda, no goal, no trying. Just the natural stillness that emerges when you stop doing and start being. You can do this anywhere, in your car before walking into work, after hanging up a difficult phone call, before getting out of bed in the morning, before falling asleep at night. 3 breaths, arrival, acceptance, stillness. That's it. The ripple effect of inner stillness is how it affects everything else. When you stop moving through your day from a place of internal urgency and instead operate from inner calm, people feel it. Situations respond to it. Problems that seemed overwhelming become manageable. Not because you've gained some magical power, but because you're no longer adding your own agitation to whatever challenges you're facing. The Stoics called this being like a lighthouse, steady, reliable, illuminating what's actually there without being moved by the storms around it. Your stillness becomes a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone whose life touches yours. Think about the people in your life who embody this quality. They're not necessarily the loudest or most dynamic personalities, but when they speak, you listen. When they're present, the room somehow becomes more spacious. They carry something that goes beyond words. They carry stillness. This isn't a special gift reserved for spiritual teachers or meditation masters. This is your birthright. This is what you're remembering, not learning. Your invitation today. As we come to the end of our time together, I want to leave you not with more information to carry, but with an invitation to practice. Today, just once, try stopping completely. Not because you're tired or because you have to, but as a conscious choice. Maybe it's when you get home from work. Instead of immediately diving into the next thing, try just sitting for 5 minutes without any agenda. Or maybe it's during your morning routine. pausing between brushing your teeth and getting dressed to simply stand in front of the mirror and meet your own eyes with kindness. Or perhaps it's tonight before sleep, lying in bed without your phone, without planning tomorrow, just being present to the feeling of rest arriving in your body. The ancient teachers understood that stillness isn't something you master once and then possess forever. It's something you return to again and again, like a well you visit when you're thirsty for something deeper than surface experience. Your stillness is already here. It's been waiting patiently beneath every busy day, every anxious thought, every moment of overwhelm. It doesn't need you to be perfect or enlightened or different than you are. It just needs you to pause long enough to remember what was never actually lost. That's our exploration for today, dear friend. I hope these ancient voices have reminded you of something you already knew, that beneath all the motion of your life lies something beautifully, perfectly still. If this reflection touched something in you, I'd love to hear about your own experiences with stillness. What helps you find that inner quiet? What gets in the way? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear.